Boom shakalaka, Bitcoin is in extreme fear as the market crashes another 8% today. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Bitcoin charts and also at some very interesting charts to discover exactly what's going on with the market. And if you stay tuned until the end, we have some extremely bullish news. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, it is a rough day for people in cryptocurrency. I think for investors and traders across the board, when the markets dump, everybody has a rough day. But you know what? I'm here for you. And you know what else? I've been through it before, so guess what? This isn't my first rodeo. I've seen the market crash 99%, and guess what? It still recovered. So, fundamentals of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies haven't changed. Fear in the market, all-time highs. Everybody's depending upon what the Fed's going to do, not knowing what to do. But I think there is some hope. So for your daily little bit of hopium to push some hope into your Saturday, so hopefully it won't be a terrible day for you, we're going to look at some awesome charts. Before we do, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Also, come join us over on Twitter at the Crypto Love. Now, as I mentioned, extreme fear today. The markets are dumping, people are dumping, the prices are going down, leverage traders are getting liquidated. It all looks really bad. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It could get worse. It could. But we have some pretty interesting charts because if you really want to see what's going on behind the chain, the cool thing about Bitcoin and blockchain is that it's got on-chain analytics, so we can actually see what's going on. We don't have to depend upon reading company summaries and stuff like that. Well, if we take a look at the market today, down another 8%. Bitcoin at $36,000, Ethereum at $25.26, BNB at $3.74, Cardano at $109, Solana $106, XRP 63 cents, and Terra at $61. That took a huge dump. It's below the $69 price when I told you guys to buy it. I guess that was the wrong one. And you kind of have to ask yourself, where are we in the psychology of a market cycle? Because they're called cycles. There's expansion and contraction, and it just keeps going from one cycle to another. It's like the seasons, After summer every year comes fall, and after fall comes winter. But you know what comes after winter? Spring, and then summer. Same thing happens with market cycles. So, me personally, I think we're in somewhere in this yellowish area right here. We're past anxiety. We're in denial, or maybe panic. Could be getting close to capitulation, possibly. But I don't think we're there yet, because capitulation is literally when people are like, you know what, I just quit. And nobody's I just quit yet. I think if the price gets down to like $20,000 or $17,000, then we'll reach capitulation where people are just like, I quit, this is stupid, I'm done, fuck NFTs, I'm out of here. That point is when we really reach the bottom, and then we go through anger, depression, and then eventually the market starts to turn around. But I could be wrong here. And we're going to take a look at some data that says I very well could be wrong in that theory. Because if we take a look, you have to look at Bitcoin's history. Because while it doesn't repeat itself, it oftentimes rhymes. And Bitcoin at $1,000, I'll wait for a dip. Then it dropped to $300. Oh, Bitcoin's dead. I'm not buying it. Or Bitcoin is $17,000. I'll wait for a dip. Or it dropped to $8,000. Forget it, it's dead. I'm not buying it anymore. Or Bitcoin is $60,000. I'll wait for a dip. And then now it's at 38 and people are like, it's dead. I don't want it. Different prices, same story. When there's blood in the streets, the best time to buy, many people don't want it. Now let's take a look at the charts. So, like I have said previously, I don't much care about what's going on with Bitcoin while it's between this red line and this green line. And as you can see, it's been between there for the past year. Now why? Well, because below this red line, it would be a double top. That would be a bearish scenario. Or above this green line would be somewhat of a bullish scenario. Well, we've just been kind of in the middle of there for the past year. It's not going anywhere. But if you notice, if you can see these little lines, little plus mark right there, another death cross. We had a death cross back here in June. We have another death cross here. Well, sometimes we have these things called fractals that maybe they hold true and maybe they don't. But if they do hold true, what would it look like if this death cross were to repeat its previous fractal? Well, if we put it there, guess what? Right after the death cross, there was a price crash. Exactly to where price crashed to. And then it bounced back up. We got to, say like 43,000, came back down, bounced off that same area. So again, like $36,000, making a double bottom right there. And then look at that. Once it passed the confirmation point, right around $43,000, look at that. It took off, and that will put us right up at the upper band of where Bitcoin's been trading, which in the middle of 2022, May, June, could have Bitcoin at like a $75,000 Bitcoin. So that's possible. But there are some other charts I think we should take a look at. And before we do, I did also just want to mention, if we take a look at this on a weekly time frame, and this is important to kind of zoom out a little bit, we can see, if I remove this here, that the past downtrend, look at this, there's 11 red candles right here, plus another 2 right there, but just 11 right there. So far, we've only had 10. So this hasn't even extended as long as the last one. So maybe there might be room for some patience before the price takes back off. Because even if we take a look at the NASDAQ right now, NASDAQ investor sentiment is worse than it was in March of 2020. At the COVID bottom, it's worse. You can see this red line way down there, lower than it was back in March of 2020. It's an extremely aggressive bearish posture. Bearishness has fallen to such an extreme that it supports a significant stock market rally, because the market often likes to disappoint the most people as possible. A lot of people are panic selling. They're getting out. Well, potentially it might take off. Because if we take a look at here, Bitcoin weekly RSI after the top, it happened before. Guess what? It's a reset. It happened back here in 2014 after the top, where we see the RSI come all the way back down to this level of 40, and then that's pretty much a reset. Again, happened here in 2017, down to 40, a reset. Back here, down to 40, a reset. And again, we have basically another reset. Now the price may dip a little bit more, but perhaps we're going up. Perhaps we'll see another correction and touch the 30 RSI. The 30 is unique in Bitcoin history in that it says buy Bitcoin. Signifies, that's the word. It signifies buy Bitcoin. Because even if we take a look here, this cycle does appear like it's looking very similar to 2013, how we had a bit of a peak, pullback. If we take a look at the RSI, somewhat similar to what we had going on there. Which brings us to these charts. Bitcoin correction durations, larger impulsive uptrends. So we can see that each time we have these corrections, they're a little bit longer. So this was 154, 161, 280, 105, and then 448 and 336. So they're getting longer and longer and longer, which would suggest a longer cycle. And if we take a look, why do I believe the cycle is not yet over? Well, things like this. If we take a look at the market cap to thermocap ratio on the 240-hour moving medium, we can see that when we had peaks, guess what? The thermocap was all the way up here, all the way up here. And if we draw a line, we would expect it to be all the way up here, which it didn't reach. It, in fact, only reached the same level we saw when we had an intermediate peak. So it appears as though, yes, we had an intermediate peak, but there could be a little bit longer, and you can see about the same level, a little bit longer until we actually see the peak. And even if we take a look at the Bitcoin Rainbow price chart, there was no evidence that we got to the sell territory. We were only ever in, is this a bubble territory? We never got to FOMO intensifies or sell or maximum bubble territory. However, because this is one of my favorite charts, I do like to look at this. And when Bitcoin price is on the way down and it gets to this green area that we're in right now called still cheap, well, if we take a look previous times, if it breaks below there to the accumulate territory, there's a good chance it's going down to the blue. Same thing happened here. Got to the green, well, broke below there, went to the blue. Even here, got to the green, broke below there, went to the blue. Ugh. So if that were to happen, and back here as well, if that were to happen where it gets to this accumulate territory, which is right around $29,000, which is just under the $39,000 line that I have right there, if Bitcoin does break down that low, there's a good chance that it is going lower. And if it does, like I said, I survived the last bear market. Everything went down 90 to 99%. And guess what I did? I worked extra hard. I worked extra jobs to accumulate extra money and dump it into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And you know what happened when the market finally took off? I was glad that happened. So if this does turn out to be a bear market, well, get to work. Get a second and third and fourth job and accumulate as much cheap cryptocurrency as you can, because it's the best investment you'll ever make in your life. Which brings us to these last articles. It turns out that 61% of Americans in a recent survey said they may purchase crypto in 2022. Now, after the price crashes now, I doubt that 61%. but 61% are considering it, entering the phase of mass adoption. Even as we're seeing more countries, El Salvador just bought its cheapest 410 Bitcoin as the price reached $36,000. And you know what's going to happen? This is actually some game theory, because other countries are thinking, if they have Bitcoin in their treasury and we don't have Bitcoin in their treasury, what happens if Bitcoin goes up to $1 million? Then they're going to be a very rich country and we're going to be left behind. So all these other countries are going to be jumping on board and buying up Bitcoin. And also, I think it's worthwhile noting that even if we do see a crypto winter, guess what? MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor is not selling. I think this is great. We have somebody in this space with such conviction behind Bitcoin. He knows the price is going higher, just like John McAfee before him knew the price was going higher. So you don't need to sell it. You just hodl it, you work extra hard, and then in the next bubble, then you're a baller. So guys, that's all for today's video. I hope it is enough hopium to get you through the day. I know it's tough. I know it sucks. Nobody likes waking up and seeing all this money disappear from your accounts, but guess what? So is life. And in another 10 years, you'll be extra grateful that you got through this. So thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell. I'll catch you guys later. Love you. Peace.